You're in your kitchen, feeling like a culinary genius because tonight's the night you're gonna make homemade fried chicken, like the TikTok video showed. You've got a massive pot filled with oil heating on the stove. No thermometer because who needs that, right? You're eyeballing it like a pro. The oil's smoking a little, but that means it's ready, you figure. You grab your first piece of chicken, still dripping wet because you didn't pat it dry like the recipe said, and you drop it into the pot from way too high because you're scared of getting splashed. The oil erupts. A volcano of 400-degree liquid fat launches straight at your face, your chest, your arms. You stumble backward, knocking the entire pot over. Gallons of boiling oil crash onto you. And we're gonna stop right there. Hey, hi. Welcome to the consequences. See, here's the thing, bro. You made like 7 terrible decisions in the span of 45 seconds. No thermometer, wet chicken, dropping from height, pot too full, standing too close. And now you're about to find out exactly why every single cooking safety rule exists. Those aren't suggestions, they're warnings written in other people's burn scars. I'm dead, by the way. Ghost. Caffeine addict even in the afterlife, which is honestly unfair. And I've got insider knowledge on dying because, well, spoiler alert, I've already done it. So let me walk you through what your body is about to experience, because Hollywood really wants you to think this is a quick and dramatic splash and scream situation. It is not. All right, let's break down what happens when boiling oil meets human flesh. And I mean actually break it down. Not the movie version where someone just screams, falls over dramatically, and the scene cuts away. The first half second, contact. Cooking oil operates between 350 to 400 degrees Fahrenheit. That's nearly double the temperature of boiling water. The moment it touches your skin, you're getting what's called a thermal injury. Fun fact, oil transfers heat way more efficiently than water because it doesn't evaporate off your skin. It clings, it sticks, it keeps cooking you like you're the main course. Within 1 second, your epidermis, that's the outer layer of your skin, is already destroyed, gone, cooked through, not damaged, deleted. Seconds 1 through 3, deep tissue destruction begins. The oil is now burning through your dermis, the layer containing your nerve endings, hair follicles, and sweat glands. This is where things get medically fascinating from a pain perspective, but hold that thought. Your body initiates an immediate inflammatory response. Blood vessels dilate, fluid rushes to the area. You're going to start swelling, fast. And here's where the vibes get real dark. The oil is still hot. It's not like touching a hot pan where you can pull away. This liquid is coating you, seeping into every crease and fold of skin. It's got nowhere to go. Seconds 3 through 10. Welcome to 3rd and 4th degree burns. 3rd degree burns destroy the full thickness of your skin. 4th degree burns, and yeah, those exist, movies never mention them, go deeper. We're talking muscle tissue, we're talking subcutaneous fat literally rendering under your own skin. Your body is cooking itself from residual heat even after the initial contact ends. Your circulatory system starts losing the plot here. Damaged capillaries and blood vessels leak plasma into surrounding tissue. You're losing fluid volume rapidly. This is the beginning of hypovolemic shock, and it's coming for you fast. The next few minutes, system failure cascade. Your blood pressure drops. Your heart starts racing, trying to compensate for fluid loss. Your kidneys are getting less blood flow. Your body temperature regulation is absolutely destroyed. Because guess what, dude? Your skin was responsible for that. And you don't have much functioning skin left in the affected areas. If the burns cover more than about 20% of your total surface area, you're looking at a genuine medical emergency requiring immediate specialized intervention. Without it, your organs start failing within hours. Okay, but what does this actually feel like? Here's where I have to bust another myth for you. Movies show people screaming in agony the entire time. There is screaming, but the pain experience is way weirder than you'd expect. Initial contact, you feel everything. Your pain receptors, called nociceptors, fire at maximum capacity. This is the most intense pain a human body can register. Some survivors describe it as feeling like being hit with a baseball bat made of lightning, while simultaneously being electrocuted. Your brain cannot process this level of sensory input, so it just screams danger at maximum volume across every available neuron. But here's the twisted part. Within seconds, in the worst affected areas, you stop feeling pain. Why? Because the nerve endings are destroyed. Third-degree burns are actually less painful than second-degree burns because there's nothing left to transmit pain signals. The nerves are cooked. So you get this horrible patchwork sensation. Areas with second-degree burns are absolute agony. Areas with third-degree burns feel numb. Pressure, maybe, but no sharp pain. Your brain can't reconcile this contradictory input. You're in shock, literally and figuratively. The smell hits next. Something survivors never forget. That's you burning. That's your tissue doing what meat does when it meets sustained high heat. Your brain recognizes this smell as fundamentally wrong on a primal evolutionary level. Your hearing gets weird. Tunnel vision sets in. Time distorts. Some people describe watching themselves from outside their body. That's dissociation, your brain's last-ditch psychological defense mechanism to trauma it cannot process. And then the endorphins arrive. Your body floods itself with its own painkillers, adrenaline, endorphins, beta endorphins specifically. Some people describe a sudden, bizarre calm washing over them, a floating sensation. The brain, realizing it cannot fix this situation, essentially checks out, gives you the chemical equivalent of, "Good luck with all that, I'm out." Those who survive severe oil burns face months or years of recovery, skin grafts, constant infection risk, permanent scarring that limits mobility, psychological trauma that echoes forever. But here's the thing, this entire nightmare is preventable. Use a thermometer. They cost $8. Never put wet food into hot oil because water vaporizes instantly and launches oil everywhere. Don't overfill your pot. Oil expands when heated. Use a splatter guard. Wear long sleeves and closed-toe shoes when deep frying. And have a proper fire extinguisher nearby. Not water. Never water on an oil fire. That turns a small disaster into an explosive one. Deep frying is genuinely dangerous. Thousands of emergency room visits every year. That backyard turkey fryer everyone buys for Thanksgiving, statistically it's a hospital trip waiting to happen. So that's what jumping, or accidentally falling, into boiling oil actually feels like. Spoiler alert, nothing like the cartoons where someone hops out looking slightly crispy and mildly annoyed. If you want to keep exploring the absolute worst ways to go, hit subscribe. I'm cataloging all of them. Every creative method the universe invented to return us to atoms. I'll be here, got nothing but time. Because, already dead. See you in the next one. Stay safe out there. Or don't. Honestly, I'll see you eventually either way.